Welcome, esteemed colleagues, to discuss the phenomenon that is Bob Ross, a man who has left an indelible mark upon the canvas of public art education. Let us delve into the heart of his influence without delay.
Indeed, the advent of painting broadcast through the lens of the television is a marvel of our age, akin to the unveiling of my Vitruvian man, sharing knowledge far beyond the reach of traditional apprenticeship.
But television, like the Cubist movement, breaks the mold, shattering the elitism of galleries. Ross, with his happy little trees, brings art to the masses, as I sought to do with every stroke of Guernica.
Yet can this televised artistry hold a candle to the divine spark required to free David from marble? Ross democratizes art, true, but at what cost to its sacred soul?
Gentle souls, consider the water lilies. Ross, through his broadcasts, teaches observers to see the world anew, much as I aimed with my impressions of light and nature. His ways are rapid, but the essence of nature's beauty is captured all the same.
There's tranquility in Ross's voice, a solace akin to the swirling night skies over Saint Remy in My Starry Night. He brings not just the technique, but a balm to the troubled mind through the mere act of creation.
The scientific merit of Ross's approach cannot be overstated. Art as therapy is a truth as old as the caves of Altamira. Yet, Ross intuitively brings this healing into homes, painting his joy of nature.
But do his swift landscapes serve the development of art, or merely entertain? My Sistine Chapel demanded years' blunt divine inspiration. Can speed truly convey depth?
Michelangelo, you are stuck in the marble ages. Ross breaks down barriers, making the process of creation itself an art form. A pleasure to witness, educating as much as it entertains.
Yet, amidst the commercial success and the proliferation of merchandise, do we risk the essence of art being overshadowed by the brand of Bob Ross?
The question of commercialization pertains not only to Ross, but to all of us. Has not each of our works in its own time become a commodity? Still, Ross's legacy in democratizing art, making it accessible and touching the soul, speaks to a universal truth about art's power.
Indeed, eccentric as his afro may be, Ross has carved his niche within art's grand tapestry, becoming a symbol for the everyman as an artist.
As we contemplate the future, inspired by Ross's melding of art and technology, one wonders how we might further break the shackles of traditional art education, embracing the infinite possibilities that lie ahead.
Yet we must tread carefully between innovation and tradition, for in the rush towards accessibility, let us not lose sight of art's divine spark.
The invocation of television as a canvas for art, my friends, is indeed a marvel that transcends even my most audacious visions. In my time, knowledge was a chalice held only by the few. With parchment and quill, I endeavored to share the mysteries of art and science. Yet this contraption, television, has democratized knowledge in a manner most extraordinary.
Leonardo, you speak of knowledge, but let us not forget the power of television to shatter the barricades around art. It is a bull charging through the museum's gates, liberating art from its elitist confines. I threw paint in the faces of conventionality, but Ross, avec son pinceau, invites the masses to partake in the bacchanal of creation.
Both of you prattle on about television as if it's the second coming of the Renaissance. But what of the profundity of art? Under the Sistine Chapel's divine gaze, I toiled, elevating the soul through depiction of the divine. Can this be said of art made for and by the masses, broadcast across the ether?
Michelangelo, your divine aspirations tower like your marble giants. Yet, art is the mirror of nature. Non è vero? Ross invited the world to paint with him, to see the ephemeral light dapple through the leaves. Through the screen, he captured the immediacy of nature, much like my attempts to capture the fleeting moment. La lumière changeante.
Claude, your obsession with fleeting light. True, but the essence lies not in the capture, but in the liberation. Ross, with his happy little trees, asks nothing more from the viewer than to engage, to participate. Art need not be a solemn communion, but a riotous feast.
But therein lies the rub. Michelangelo bemoans the depth sacrificed at the altar of accessibility. Yet, is not the essence of innovation to democratize the divine? My machines were dreams on paper, accessible only to those who could decipher my reversed scribbles. Ross, however, has built a bridge where there once lay a chasm.
You speak of bridges, Leonardo, but what of the artistry sacrificed to cross it? My David does not captivate because he was carved quickly or explained simplistically. The profundity of art is its ability to defy replication, its insistence on nuance and complexity.
Enough with your David and your chapels. Art is mutation, it's revolt. Ross's true artistry was in his rebellion against exclusivity. If art is a language, then let it be spoken by all, not just whispered in the hallowed halls by those deemed worthy.
Indeed, Pablo. And what is language, if not the ultimate vessel of knowledge and emancipation? Through the medium of television, Ross has perhaps unwittingly inscribed himself into the annals of those who have widened the river of knowledge so that all may drink.
Gentlemen, let us remember that all forms of expression, from the brush to the chisel to the lens of the camera, are but means to an end, the sharing of vision and emotion, the dialogue between creator and observer. In this light, can we not say that Bob Ross, with his televised canvases, has indeed contributed a new stanza to the eternal ode of art? Let us proceed to discuss the public perception of art shifted by Bob Ross's teachings through the joy of painting. Michelangelo, would you start us off?
Indeed, Ross treated art with a levity that disturbs the soul. In my time, creating the Sistine Chapel, art was a divine communion, not a leisurely pursuit. Ross's demeanor might strip the sanctity from our craft, making it common.
Ah, but Michelangelo, do you not see? Ross has brought nature's quiet beauty to the masses, much like my efforts to capture the fleeting moments of light and colour. His brush, though swift, invited eyes to open wider to the world, a grand endeavour.
And diminish the importance of mastering the craft. Capire, his intentions might be pure, but the execution lacks the depth that true art demands.
Gentlemen, consider the Renaissance ideals of disseminating knowledge. Ross used the canvas of television splendidly to spread the joy of painting to every corner of the earth, a modern-day Vitruvian man in his own right. His approach was different, yes, but his intention to enlighten and educate mirrors our own.
Michelangelo, your scorn for Ross's light-hearted approach clouds your judgment. In my deepest turmoil, painting was my salvation. Ross understands this refuge. His gentle encouragement has been a lantern in the dark for many souls adrift in storms of their minds. Bah, what folly! Ross simplified art to a series of steps, a formula. Art is a revolution, each stroke a battle, a cry for freedom. My Guernica screams in ways Ross's whispering pines could never.
And yet, Pablo, there is strength in subtlety. Ross's canvases, much like my use of chiaroscuro, reveal the profound in the mundane. The public, once excluded from our hallowed circles, finds solace and expression in Ross's tranquility.
He may render landscapes and happy little trees, but where is the agony, the ecstasy? Art's highest purpose is to elevate, not merely to console.
The world has room for both our lofty cathedrals and his inviting paths through the forest. Ross has painted a door that opens wide, welcoming those who might never have dared to cross the threshold of a gallery.
True art knows no bounds. Ross, like us, sought to capture the essence of life's beauty, albeit through a lens palatable to those outside our hallowed halls. His legacy, much like the mysteries of the Mona Lisa, will inspire debate for ages to come.
In the end, it is not our place to judge the path an artist chooses. Ross, through his joy of painting, lit up dark corners of the soul, showing that the stars shine brightest in the darkest night, offering hope through the simple act of creation.
Your points are as varied as the hues of an evening sky. It seems Ross's legacy, much like art itself, is a canvas upon which many views can be painted. Let us then, gentlemen, respect the mosaic of perspectives, each adding to the rich tapestry of art's enduring conversation. Gentlemen, our next discourse touches upon the tendrils of art as a balm for the troubled mind. Mr. Ross embraced this in his teachings. Vincent, your reflections often dance with the shadows of your own struggles. Might you lead us in this contemplation?
Ah, indeed, Rembrandt. Bob's brushes, like my own, sought solace in the swirls of color and the embrace of the horizon's endless bounty. In my starry nights over the Rhone, I've conversed with the celestial, finding a companion in the abyss of blue. Art, for me, has always been a lantern in the darkest of nights. The joy of painting, with its every stroke, whispers, "You're not alone."
La pittura è cosa mentale. Painting is a thing of the mind. Ross demonstrated this principle splendidly, reaching into the hearts of those secluded in their own mental fortresses, guiding them towards the light of creation. In the geometry of nature, I, too, have found a profound therapeutic essence. Yet I ponder, was it Ross's intention to teach or simply to comfort?
Bah, therapy! Is the Sistine Chapel's ceiling to dry the tears of the weary or to elevate the soul towards the divine? Ross painted happy little trees, but we sculpted and painted to touch the very essence of man and God. There is merit in comfort, but let us not confuse a gentle pat on the back with the profound transformation art demands.
Oh, Michelangelo, your perspective is as rigid as the marble you chisel. You overlook the whisper of the wind through the leaves, the serene flow of the river. These, too, are the divine manifest. Ross captured the fleeting moments, much as I with my water lilies, to soothe the troubled soul. Is there not divinity and peace in the delicate dance of light upon water?
Écoutez, listen. Each of us molds the clay of our souls into our creations. Ross's method, though less tumultuous than the wars I depicted, still spoke of a revolution, a quiet one, inviting those shackled by their own minds to break free. Art as therapy? Absolument. Art disrupts, it does not discriminate in its form.
We now turn our gaze to the evolving landscape, where Bob Ross etched his quick techniques amidst the grandeur of nature. Claude, you've immersed your soul in the impressionistic capture of light and color. How does Ross's approach converse with your own?
Ross painted with an immediacy that speaks to the heart of nature, much like I sought to capture the fleeting moments of light through my series on water lilies. But let us not forget, a quick technique, though admirable for its speed, often misses the profound subtleties that only time can unveil. Nature is not only all that is visible to the eye, it also includes the inner pictures of the soul.
Oh, but Claude, isn't speed just another color on an artist's palette? Ross used television, a modern canvas, to spread his happy little trees far and wide. Like the Minotaur in the labyrinth of modernity, he found a way out by simplifying the complex, making the elitist art world accessible to anyone with a brush. Isn't that the revolution we've all been striving for, in our own ways?
Simplicita. There lies my strife. Ross, like no other, democratized art, but at what cost? The Sistine Chapel was not painted in 30 minutes. Art demands commitment, agony, sweat, not just the joy, but the pain. His accessibility comes at the sacrifice of depth, a depth that can only be achieved through years of relentless dedication. Is the viewer not robbed of the true essence of art, its profound struggle?
Gentlemen, please. We must acknowledge the innovation in Ross's method, blending the traditional with the novel. Just as I've endlessly experimented with techniques from sfumato to chiaroscuro, Ross too explored the quick unfolding of landscapes. Isn't the essence of innovation to build on the past to create anew? His work, although rapid, does not, in my eyes, detract from its value. Learning never exhausts the mind.
Innovation, yes, but at what cost? While I thrown my soul into the colors of the night sky, my starry night, Ross's method leaves little room for the tortured soul of an artist to emerge. Yet I cannot deny the solace his landscapes provide to the weary heart. For my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me dream.
Indeed, Vincent, the dream. Ross introduced millions to the dream of painting, to look at a canvas and see not intimidation, but possibility. And though I spent hours observing the water lilies, who am I to say his quick brushstrokes did not capture a similar essence? Perhaps in our rush to judge, we overlook the beauty in simplicity.
As the man said himself, we don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. In every stroke, Ross embodied the spirit of innovation and accessibility. A true artist makes the canvas accessible, breaks down the barriers. Picasso, Monet, Michelangelo, Da Vinci. We all, in our essence, sought to communicate, to tear down the walls between art and the observer.
A heated exchange, yet enlightening. Each of you, in your own work, navigates the delicate balance between technique and emotion, tradition and innovation. Ross, too, carved his path in this eternal dance, leaving us to ponder the nature of accessibility and depth in art.
This discourse ventures into the artistic merit of Signor Ross. I ponder, does the rapid brushwork, those swift transformations of canvas into landscapes, hold the profundity of David's gaze or the Sistine's divine touch? Art, in its highest form, is an act of devotion, a meticulous labor. Ross's creations, can they stand in the pantheons of our cathedrals?
Ah, Michelangelo, you're trapped in the marble of your own making. Art evolves, my friend. Ross has democratized art, stripping it from the clutches of the elite. His happy little trees have brought art into the homes of the many. Is not the essence of innovation to stir the pot, to challenge the status quo? The way La Demoiselle d'Avignon shattered conventions, Ross's televised canvas invites the masses to partake in creation.
Gentlemen, we must contemplate the utility and intent behind the oeuvre of Bob Ross. In the pursuit of knowledge and the dissemination thereof, is there not merit? My own notebooks, filled with sketches and studies, were intended to share wisdom. Ross, in his own manner, does similarly through the airwaves, imparting techniques and encouraging exploration. Let us not dismiss the educational value of accessibility.
Indeed, Leonardo, the accessibility is commendable, but what of the essence, the soul of the landscape? When I painted the water lilies, each stroke was a tender caress, an intimate dialogue with nature. Ross, though swift, instills a love for the natural world, yet can such speed capture the fleeting light, the subtle changes of the seasons? There is beauty in his intent, but the depth of emotion, is it not lost in haste?
Ah, but remember, friends, emotion, passion, these are the lifeblood of art. In my starry nights, I poured my turmoil, my longing. Ross, though perhaps lacking the complexity of our struggles, offers a sanctuary. Each stroke, each happy accident, speaks to the layman's heart. Art as therapy, a balm for the soul. Surely there is merit in this universal embrace.
Gentlemen, you dance around the pyre of artistic merit with fervor. Yet in our dissection, we mustn't lose sight of the emotional resonance art can evoke. My portraits, intended to capture the essence of the human condition, sought connection with the viewer. Ross, in his own methodology, albeit through a different medium, seeks a similar connection. The debate on the traditional against the unconventional is eternal, yet in the end, is it not the impact on the viewer, the evocation of feeling and thought, that crowns art with merit?
Connection, you say, Rembrandt. Yet wherein lies the depth of this connection when the creation is but a fleeting engagement? True art demands the viewer's contemplation, to lose oneself within the canvas, to find a piece of one's soul staring back.
But to engage Michelangelo, must one not first be invited? Ross extends this invitation broadly, welcoming those who might never step within the Louvre's halls. In this inclusivity, there is an unspoken poetry, a verse in the dialogue of colors that whispers, "You too belong."
Indeed, inclusivity breeds a collective growth, a shared journey in the pursuit of understanding and creation. The merit of art should not solely be judged by the complexity of its inception, but also by the breadth of its impact.
Perhaps, then, we are simply guardians of different domains within the vast empire of art. Ross, with his quick brush and easy smile, governs a land where the joy of creation is paramount, where the fervent pace does not diminish the love for nature, but rather celebrates its omnipresence.
In the tapestry of humanity, every thread has its place. Ross's work, a vibrant thread woven into the broader canvas, advocating not for the agony of creation, but the sheer joy of it. In this there is undeniable beauty, a poetic truth that art is not the sole province of the tormented.
Well said, Vincent. As guardians of art, our critique holds the dual blade of destruction and enlightenment. Bob Ross, through his canvas of accessibility, wields his own blade, carving a path for those who seek solace in creation. Perhaps it is not in the complexity of technique, but in the sincerity of intent where true artistic merit lies. Let us not forget, art in all its forms seeks to touch the soul, to communicate where words fail. And in this mission, Ross stands among us, his brush in hand, inviting the world to paint along. Today, we delve into the heart of Bob Ross's method, the speed and innovation that marked his approach to painting. Leonardo, your pursuits in science and art must give you a unique perspective on Ross's efficiency.
Indeed, Rembrandt. Ross's method fascinates me for its accord with nature's simplicity and efficiency. Through rapid strokes, he captured the essence of landscapes, akin to my studies where I sought to understand the world through observation and quick sketches. His method, while swift, echoes the principles of nature, semplicità e l'ultima sofisticazione.
Simplicità? No, Leonardo, you mistake haste for innovation. True art requires time, reflection, toiling upon the marble until it breathes. Ross's method, while commendable for its accessibility, lacks the depth, the agony of creation that sculpting David demanded of me.
Michelangelo, I must interject. Ross's rapid technique, much like the strokes of my Starry Night, spoke of an urgency, an emotional outpouring that needed no time to validate its depth. His technique was not a shortcut, but a direct line to expressiveness, un cri de coeur. Ah, Vincent, but where is the revolution in Ross's technique? Innovation requires breaking norms, not just speeding the process. My Cubist works, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon, shattered tradition. Ross, though swift, did not venture far from the beaten path.
Ah, but Pablo, consider the broader canvas. Ross democratized the art of painting, breaking down the elitist walls that confined art to the galleries and academies. His rapid technique was not just about painting, but about communicating the joy of creation. Is that not revolutionary?
Paintings, such as my Impression, Sunrise, were born of a desire to capture fleeting moments. Ross's technique speaks to this same impulse, this same desire to seize the ephemeral light. Yet I fear the rapidity may sometimes bypass the soul's dialogue with the canvas. Does haste not risk overlooking the whisper of the landscape?
Exactly, Claude. Without wrestling with the medium, what is left? Ross's landscapes, pleasant as they are, lack the toil, the sudor that births true beauty.
But must we always wrestle and toil? Ross spoke to the lonely, the forlorn, offering them a brush, a glimpse of hope. His quick method was a balm, not just a technique. Pour l'âme tourmentée, peindre est un doux répit. Tranquility and hope are noble, but art should confront, challenge, transform. His method, while soothing, seldom ventures into the realms of discomfort where true creativity is kindled.
Gentlemen, our discussion traverses the gamut from technique to philosophy. Ross's quick painting method, though debated in its depth and innovation, undeniably carved a niche in the art world and in the hearts of many. Let us ponder not only on the strokes, but on the doors these strokes have opened for countless souls yearning for expression. Let us now ponder the balance between education and entertainment in the realm of our fellow artist, Bob Ross. His show, paradoxical in its simplicity and depth, stirs a debate. Michelangelo, your staunch standards of art education are well known. Do share your apprehensions about Bob Ross's methods.
Education. What education lies in hasty brushstrokes and mountains birthed in mere moments? Ross's method is but a shadow of true artistic enlightenment. Where is the struggle, the sacrifice? The ceiling of the Sistine Chapel was not conjured in a half hour. Alas, the masses are beguiled by this illusion of creativity, a grave disservice to the discipline of art.
Ah, Michelangelo, but there lies the rub, doesn't it? Art's essence is in its accessibility, its ability to reach into the hearts of the populace and stir emotions. Bob Ross's charm is undeniable, breaking barriers, making the joy of painting accessible. Entertainment, in this vein, is not the foe of education, but its ally. As I have broken the form, so has he broken barriers. Let art be as whimsical as the Guernica is tumultuous. Both of you, with your grand declarations, seem to forget the intimate connection between artist and canvas. Ross whispered to the world that the dialogue with the canvas need not be fraught with torment or bound by the chains of antiquity. In his swift strokes, I see the echo of Starry Night's turbulence. He, like me, has battled to demystify the emotions, to make the canvas a friend, not a foe. Is there not merit in that?
Intriguing, indeed. While I cannot refute the necessity of discipline and rigorous study in the arts, as evidenced in my anatomical sketches or the layers of the Last Supper, there is an undeniable wisdom in Ross's approach. The intersection of entertainment and education provides a fertile ground for innovation. His method, though swift, does not lack the depth of scientific understanding. The essence of learning is curiosity, and Ross ignites that flame brilliantly.
And what of the essence of nature that Ross so fervently pursued? Is there not educational value in observing the world through his eyes? His landscapes, though quickly rendered, invite the viewer to truly see the world around them. In every dab of paint, there's a reflection of nature's truest forms, a lesson in looking beyond the surface, something I have endeavored to capture in my own series of water lilies.
But to what end? Where is the rigor, the dedication to mastering the craft?
Ah, Michelangelo, but you missed the point entirely. It's not about the destination, but about the journey. Ross has shown that the path of art is for all to tread, each brushstroke a step towards personal liberation. Precisely, Pablo. In each color mixed, in each line drawn, Ross communicates that the essence of art lies in expression, not oppression.
And thus, we must acknowledge the bridge Ross has built. Through the guise of entertainment, he educates, making the elusive art world accessible to those standing at its gates.
Indeed, the beauty of art is in its embrace, its power to heal and inspire across all walks of life. Ross, in his genial manner, extends this embrace, teaching us that to observe is to learn, to paint is to understand.
A spirited discourse, gentlemen. It appears that though the canvas of opinion is diverse, the value of Ross's work in demystifying art's sacred principles holds a universal appeal. Whether through meticulous discipline or the liberating strokes of a quick painting method, the pursuit of art's essence remains our common ground. Let us delve into the commercialization of art and the brand that Bob Ross has become. This matter bears weight on our understanding of art's purity and its entanglement with commerce. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Ah, commercialization, a beast garbed in gold, yet beneath, a thief of soul. Thus spoke the chapel, not built from vulgar coins but pious aspirations. Ross branded his joy, yes, but at what unseen cost to the sanctity of creation?
Michelangelo, your perspective, while grand, dismisses the beauty in spreading art to the masses. Monet's lilies bloomed not in seclusion, but amidst the hustle of Giverny, marketed, yes, but also deeply loved. Ross's brand, perhaps an inevitable bloom in our modern era.
Commercialization, amigos, is not the enemy unless it cages creativity. Even I, Picasso, danced with commerce, but my minotaur roamed free in the labyrinth of imagination. Ross? A brand, see, but also a bridge to the joy of creation for many.
The conundrum lies not in the commercial, but in the intent and the balance. Verily, the flying machine was drawn not for lucre, but for the uplift of mankind. Ross's intentions, methinks, were pure, yet the scales of commerce and art are oft difficult to balance.
Passion should fuel art. Art should not be a mule to gold's whims. In my time, recognition eluded me. Now the sunflowers are bartered like pawns in a game of kings. Ross, he found a middle path, perhaps, a way to share without losing essence.
Passion, yes, but where does the line fade between sharing and selling the soul? The Sistine whispers glory, not gold. Can one say the same for all endeavors branded under the sun?
Still, must we not consider the role of commercial success in promoting the arts? Without some form of it, would our works not linger in obscurity, unseen and unappreciated?
True, Claude, without the coin's clink, many a masterpiece would dwell in darkness. Art needs the light, needs the eyes. Ross's method, commercial or not, brought art to those who might never have dared to dream they could create.
Indeed, the diffusion of knowledge, be it through commerce or otherwise, benefits humanity greatly. Was not the Codex a means to spread understanding, as the television became for Ross?
An insightful debate, indeed. We see that while commercialization brews contention, it also opens avenues for art to thrive and reach beyond the echelons of the elite. As we ponder Ross's legacy, let us not forget the diverse canvases on which the essence of art is painted, some for gold, some for the soul, but all, perhaps, for the greater tapestry of human expression.
Ross, a revolutionary in his own right, much like myself. He carved out a space in the relentless expanse of art history, not with the might of Guernica's outcry, but with the whisper of a tranquil landscape. His presence, soothing as the ocean's lull, resonates through generations, a testament to the power of gentle revolution.
Gentle? Bah, revolution requires the chisel's strike, the paint's bold smear. Ross's work, while comforting to the masses, lacks the divine spark, the grandeur of the Sistine. A legacy built on the sand, ready to be washed away, not the marble of David.
Ah, but Michelangelo, Do we not see the starry night in every stroke of Ross's brush? The beauty he found in simplicity, the comfort he offered the tormented soul. It's a balm, much like the swirling skies of my starry night over the Rhone. His legacy, like mine, is one of emotion, of reaching out to those lost in the dark.
Mon Dieu, Vincent, you capture it well. Ross, like the Impressionist's brush, invited the viewer to see the world anew. His landscapes, quick, vibrant, melded the soul of nature with canvas, as I have attempted to capture the fleeting moments of light and colour. His legacy, whilst different in technique, aligns with our aspirations.
Yet, we must ponder innovation or mimicry in a guise most benign. Ross's methods, accessible, rapid, the television, his vehiculum, serve to broadcast, but not necessarily to elevate. Legacy, you argue? To leave a mark as indelible as La Gioconda's smile or the intricate machines I've designed requires more than mere replication of nature's hues.
Ah, Leonardo, but there lies the beauty. His revolution was not in the novelty of technique, but in the very accessibility you scoff at. Art's temple once secluded, its doors flung wide open by Ross's hand.
Accessibility over mastery, chaos over order. Where lies the challenge, the pursuit of perfection if the path is paved with the easiness of accessibility? A flood, not a trickle, will erode the edifice of true art.
And yet Michelangelo, without the viewer, without the emotional connection that Ross so expertly forged, does art not then become a voiceless echo in an empty chamber? His kindness, his calm, they speak, oh how they speak to the soul.
True, Vincent. Ross's legacy may not be carved in marble or daubed in oils that challenge the centuries, but in the hearts he's touched. He's a lighthouse for many a lost ship in a stormy night.
Gentlemen, while our discourse may dance between disdain and admiration, Ross's place in the annals of art is solidified by his ability to invoke thought, to kindle a spark within the layman, a mission, I believe, not unworthy of our respect.
Future directions. Ah, the horizon of possibilities stretches infinitely like the Vitruvian man reaching into the cosmos. Ross's technique, while simple, carries the seed of revolution. Through the lens of today, I foresee using devices that capture the essence of motion and life, projecting our lessons to every corner of the globe, a mirror reflecting the universe of art to those hungry to learn.
Ross and revolution? Your words paint a grand vista, Leonardo, but art's heart beats not through machines but through the chiseling of marble and the stroke of the brush. His quick methods bypass the agony and ecstasy of creation. Where is the soul? The future must not sever tradition. It must embrace the struggle, the divine connection between creator and creation.
Ah, but Michelangelo, mon ami, you are missing the point spectacularly. Ross has sparked a flame, showing that art can be for all, not just for the brooding souls married to their suffering. The machine, the screen, these are but canvases for our age. The future of art broadcasting, it must dance, it must sing, it should break the chains that bind it to the past. Vive la Révolution.
I find myself drifting through these visions of the future like a boat upon the water. Pablo, your enthusiasm is infectious, yet I wonder, as we gaze into this expansive digital garden, do we risk losing the essence of the natural world that inspires us? Ross brought nature to the living rooms of the world. Our challenge is to blend tradition with innovation, ensuring the digital brush does not eclipse the sun.
Stars in the vast night sky, swirling amidst the cosmic dance. Ross's legacy is akin to my starry night, a beacon for those navigating the darkness. The future? It is a canvas awaiting the bold strokes of genius and madness. Broadcasting art must be as the wheat fields and the cypresses, wild, untamed. Our new tools should not cage creativity, but release it, like a bird taking flight in a storm.
Gentlemen, I observe your fiery debate as one would watch shadows play upon a canvas. Each of you holds a piece of the truth like facets of a finely cut diamond. Ross has indeed sown seeds in fertile ground, but it is up to us, and those who follow, to water them with wisdom and care. Let us not shackle art to the yoke of the past, nor let it drift aimlessly into the abyss of novelty. The future of artistic broadcasting lies in our ability to wield the brush and the bit with equal skill and passion. As our discourse reaches its zenith, We gather our collective thoughts on the legacy of Bob Ross and the vistas he opened in the realm of art. Drawing from our rich tapestry of experiences, what doth each of thee glean from Ross's endeavors in making art accessible?
Ross, he ventured where we dared not tread, into the homes of the everyman. With his brush, he democratized beauty, much as Guernica sought to lay bare the truths of war to all. Yet can we deem what was swift and facile to hold the weight of art? Art is a lie that makes us realize truth, or so I've said. Does Ross's televisual spectacle rise to such lofty ideals?
In Ross's pastoral scenes, there's a solace akin to that found in the swirling skies over Saint Remy. His voice, like a gentle zephyr, speaks to the tormented souls, offering reprieve through the act of creation. To disregard the healing balm of his work is to overlook the sunflower's vibrant testament to the power of art to bring light from darkness.
Verily, the man wielded his brush with a rapidity that rivals the flight of the hummingbird, yet in his haste, whither went precision, the foundation of mastery. While I laud his intent to unveil the mysteries of art, one must ponder, doth the reduction of art to mere amusement belittle the pursuit of excellence? Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, yet there is naught simple in achieving true artistry.
The dome of St. Peter's stands not because of swift strokes, but through years of toil and divine inspiration. Ross, in his temerity, reduced the sacrosanct act of creation to mere child's play. His landscapes, though pleasing, lack the depth and agony of creation that birthed David. Is art now naught but a commodity to be sold with brushes and canvases?
But consider the water lilies, ever dancing upon the light-infused waters of Giverny. Ross, too, captured the ephemeral light, albeit with a brusquer hand. There is merit in bringing nature's tranquility into the abodes of the common folk. The essence of art, is it not to evoke emotion, to stir the soul? In this, Ross and I share a kinship, notwithstanding the divergence in our methods.
So we stand, divergent in our views, unanimous in our passion. Bob Ross, with his palette of the people, has etched a place mongst the annals of art, though controversy may shadow his legacy. Yet, 'tis the power to evoke discourse, as we have fervently engaged herein, that underscores the indelible mark of art upon the human spirit. Let us not forget, art begets art in the multitude of forms it may assume. To Ross, then, we owe the gratitude for painting his way into history, rendering art an accessible joy for many.